Welcome back to Problem Solver Politics. I am your host, Cardinellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Hey, everybody.
And today we're going to talk about the most ratioed campaign on the internet today. Actually, I don't know if that's true, but definitely highly ratioed campaign.
Presidential campaign.
Yes, presidential campaign, I should say. Justin Amash has declared his candidacy for the President of the United States of America. Some people like it. Some people hate it. Some people are saying it's good. Some people are saying it's bad. Cody, tell us what is going on.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, this is really what the impetus, I guess, or what's the word? This is what really put me into making this video today.
Impetus works. That's a good word.
Yesterday, Justin Amash, over the last, I would say, 40 hours or so, Justin Amash, we'll get a little bit in more. You might have heard his name before if you don't recognize who he is. Anyway, he had been announcing that he was thinking about running as a libertarian for president or seeking a libertarian nomination for president, which, by the way, I believe there's a lot of interesting names in that hat. Anyways, he announced it was 22 hours ago now from the point of this tweet, so it'd be about 6 p.m. Eastern yesterday, or Pacific yesterday, the 28th. Anyway, doesn't matter. What does matter is the fact that his tweet got what you would, I guess we colloquially, is that the word for it on
Twitter? Yes.
Referred to as being ratioed. Idea being, if you notice here, considerably more comments than there was likes. Idea being, if I hate you and disagree with you, I'm probably not going to like the tweet, but all the commented on it. So I thought it'd be fun to go through the comments for a second. But that's not the story here. The story here is, why is Justin Amash throwing so much ire for the...
That's a great word for it, ire.
Has the libertarian presidential candidate gone anywhere in the last couple cycles, really?
I guess to go back to Ron Paul.
Okay, there we go. Ron Paul.
Yes, and even he himself.
By the way, also had tons of haters for daring to run for president all the time. But
he also did it as a Republican too, and even he himself said that running as an actual libertarian is a loser's errand.
You're not going to win. My favorite video I show all the time, I don't have it queued up for here, but it's at the 2012 or 16 Libertarian National Convention, where one of the candidates gets booed for just suggesting an 8-year-old should not be allowed to buy drugs. They got booed because hey, it's a free country, man. We can do whatever we want. Anyway, Justin Amash, why you might remember his name, is because he famously, this was back, I want to say it was July of 2019. Yes, it was. It was actually, I don't know if it was actually on the 4th of July, but it was in July 2019, I believe. Where Justin Amash announced that he was leaving the GOP. He had been serving at the time for, I want to say, oh man, I got his math in my head. About a decade? I want to say he's a Republican in the House. Oh, God, I'm not going to get it wrong. Anyway, he announced that he was switching to the Libertarian Party. So July 4th, 2019, he actually ran an op-ed in the Washington Post announcing this. Then he would also go on to kind of make some headlines again when he famously became, I believe, the only Republican to vote for, not Republican, the most Republican adjacent member of the House to vote to confirm the impeachment of Trump, at the point where, we're going back to December of 2019, again, we're going back to the Washington Post on this one, freshman Democrats were actually pushing to have him as the impeachment manager when the impeachment would go through. I know it feels like a lifetime ago when that happened. It happened like 4 months ago. Anyway, interesting just to kind of give a little background of who this Justin Amash character was in the last few months, why you might have heard of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently him daring to run for president, big mistake. Absolutely nobody's happy about this. And it is funny, there is a lot of people, let's see if I can pull a good tweet up for you. Again, I'm just going to really quickly scroll through some of the comments and replies so you can see them. One of the top ones, of course, we have is Alyssa Milana here saying just nope, but here we go. Why don't you just use vote Amash to elect Trump as your slogan? Is a verified checkmark account here. What's interesting to me is, why is a libertarian going to help Donald Trump win? What libertarian? It's like, well, I'm all for small government. I'm all for, I believe in the Libertarian Party. But I was really leaning. I was really leaning Joe Biden until Justin Amash came, the gift from God. Now I can vote for him.
No, but hold on.
Do those voters exist?
You know exactly the answer to that question, Cody. Do you remember when Howard Schultz ran in his first town hall meeting? What happened in back? Don't help elect Trump, you egotistical piece of. It was interrupted twice, maybe thrice by protesters. And what was their protest? Not Howard Schultz, not his policy, but this threat to their orange man bad schema.
Hold on, but wasn't Howard Schultz the Starbucks CEO?
Yeah, remember how he said, I might run independently? And the first protest was what? Don't you dare help Donald Trump. When in reality, we have basically come to statistically realize that the spoiler role we think these third parties play isn't really as common as they are. Jill Stein didn't cost Hillary Clinton. Howard Schultz wouldn't cost Donald Trump. And I don't think Justin Amash would pull both from traditional Democrats and from Republicans. It'd be a wash.
I've just been going through the now ratioed tweet announcing the presidency of Justin Amash, and we've seen a lot of people saying, you're just going to help elect Donald Trump, blah, blah. Well, now we have Jack Posobiec, in no means a Democratic operative. I think he's basically an unofficial Trump campaign director, a spokesperson, immediately jumping into this thing to remind people that Amash has personal business links to China. This is what's interesting to me. Everybody, for whatever reason, is upset or perhaps threatened by the idea that how dare this libertarian who's going to draw 7 or 8%, like no one's going to vote for him, but it's like, how dare this man run president? That is weird to me. I don't know why it's on both sides. That is weird.
Now, I don't necessarily agree with the how dare youism, but I do agree with this tweet at top that Jerry Dunleavy said. This is really important. Mr. Amash, one important test question, sir. What is Aleppo? Now that's a good tweet response, Cody. You got to win. That's freaking hilarious.
I mean, another reason why I think that's a great. What you're referring to is, I believe it was Gary Johnson, right?
That was Gary Johnson.
Yeah, famously, was asked about Aleppo, which is a city in Syria, which has been hit. I believe Syria. Oh my God, am I gonna American geography? Either way, you should know what it was if you run for president.
Yeah.
It was hit very hard during, I believe it was the Syrian civil war. It was a very heavily impacted area. Remember when that was, by the way, still going on as far as I know? Remember that was news anyway, though. And then we'll go some more. I mean, we do see accounts here, like this Scott Pressler account, who is a Trump supporter, saying thank you for helping re-elect Trump. But I've just been seeing a lot of people feel threatened by him running for president, it seems. Well, maybe not threatened as like scared, but they definitely feel like, hey, Chasten Buttigieg weighed in. Anyone was thinking what a Chasten was thinking? Now we know. And there's a since deleted tweet in reply. Don't want to know what that was. But it is really weird to see this because, I mean, I guess you could say he's emerging to be a kind of a controversial character. I mean, he left the Republican Party, voted to impeach Trump, but now, because he's running for president, what it speaks larger to, and I don't want to get into people's heads here, but there definitely seems to be a lot of people that have, I don't want to say low confidence in Joe Biden. It just seems that people definitely want anything that's a perceived Biden obstacle out of the way. Yeah. Like he is not because Justin Amash.
Well, they view him as so handicapped. It's like if your grandfather is in a wheelchair and you need to take him from the living room, into the bedroom to lay him to bed safely. If your kids have put a bunch of banana peels and toys in between there in the bedroom, you're going to holler at your kids and say, clean up the mess. I got to take grandpa to bed. So the only thing that's happening is the DNC is trying to take grandpa to bed before he says something so stupid, it keeps him from having the slim chance he has of winning completely out the door.
It is. I was reading the other day, by the way. I was reading something to the effect that Biden might actually win just because Trump's insisting on doing these daily press conferences that people aren't even airing anymore. I'm not going to get into the reasons why. I don't. Bickering. However, it's just funny. Biden does like nothing, and no one watches the stuff, so no one hates him. No one's like, hey, that's the guy who said that. But now, I want to get something else out because the idea of a candidate that's running third party, big name, former current politicians, people with a kind of following and some political ties have been announcing they're running for third party. Now, I showed you guys already the Justin Amash tweet, which I think is going to be one of my favorite tweets of all time. When the guy announced he's running for president and immediately got ratioed by everyone, just telling him to not run. Republicans, Democrats, everyone's like, we hate you, Justin Amash, don't do this.
Which means he'd probably be a good candidate.
I don't. For the record, I wouldn't vote for him. Not my kind of candidate. However, check this out. Another person I was hinting at very similarly announced their exploratory committee for the run of a major third party. A little bit different.
Okay.
But when Jesse Ventura announced that he was, check out this here, not even close to it. People were more or less indifferent or supporting of Jesse Ventura and his bid for presidency. And what I thought's been kind of funny, he's not the only person to put this together. I think it was a Bloomberg article that ran. Let me change this a little bit. But I do believe this is something here. It's not going to, Amash and Ventura are not going to be on the, they're not going to be at the end of the race. I do not think either of them have a chance. No offense, they don't. But what's interesting is because of the way this campaign is going to be forced to be ran, I believe due to coronavirus, with the way they've been lockdowns, it really does open up the door for why can't Jesse Ventura do at-home interviews with big networks? Why can't Justin Amash, by the way, sat down with MSNBC today, to at least MSNBC or NBC, to address some of the controversy springing from him daring to announce he's running for president. And I wonder how much impact they can really have. I think Amash a little bit less, ironically enough, with him being a sitting congressman. You think he might have a little bit more. But I think Jesse Ventura can get some of that kind of chaotic meme energy behind him. That kind of, I'm sitting at home bored. Because people are going stir crazy. They really are. And I hate to say this, because a lot of people aren't going to like to hear it. Actually, I hate saying it. I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. Honestly, from where I sit, Green Party does come across a little bit more stable and sane to me than the Libertarian Party.
Really?
There's something.
Oh, come on. The Libertarians are 10 times more sane than the three.
There's something about the extreme freedom stance, Libertarian Party, that draws a lot of.
So you're a freedom hater that prefers the psychopaths that want everybody smoking weed all the time, huh?
That's me. No, I'm just saying, I think the Libertarian Party has advocated for some out there premises in recent history to the point where it's, again, it's kind
I just think you're more aware of the libertarian standpoint, so it doesn't bother you as much.
It's just kind of the curse of welcoming everyone and being a super freedom centric, right? You're going to get, unfortunately, everyone in, right?
Are you aware of, Green Party, actually, you want to know what? We can't knock the Green Party. There's plenty of things that actually I think are kind of cool and endearing about the Green Party. They're out there just like the libertarians. So that's kind of like saying, you know, which one of your psycho friends is more psycho? I don't know. There's just a point where both of them have done such nuts things that it crosses whatever threshold is just there, right? But they have a virtue, and some of their, Democrats and Republicans have been running the show, and it sucks so far. You know what I'm saying? So, the proof is always in the pudding. You can't call somebody crazy if some of the ideas they're saying are actually looking pretty good. And you know, the cities and the municipalities that run in a little bit more limited government, libertarian kind of fashion do better. Their societies thrive more. So I don't know. I don't want to throw them underneath the bus. The Green Party and the Libertarian Party, I think, are going to grow.
We fast forward 9 months in the future.
Yeah.
Who got more votes?
Whose baby is born?
Who got more traction? Justin Amash or Jesse Ventura?
Jesse Ventura, because we live in a celebrity culture, and he is a celebrity.
Okay.
That's why.
I will say, while his tweet did draw less engagement than Justin Amash's, he did not have to have his announcing that he was running for president tweet, which, by the way, I do want to keep in mind, Jesse Ventura did not announce he's running for president. He's exploring it. I believe Justin Amash is a little bit more running for president now. But, yeah, that's just funny, man. Is that a bad sign when you announce you're running for president and the majority of people line up to tell you how much they disagree and don't like you?
Or it just shows that the society is sick.
But also, remember, Twitter isn't real life. Maybe he'll have more. I don't think libertarian. The kind of voter this guy seems to be appealing to seems to not be the blue check mark verified Twitter personality. He seems to actively be calling them out and saying, "You guys push nonsense. I'm representing other people." Now, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to vote for him myself, but I thought it was interesting. I haven't seen that in a while. Like I said, Jesse Ventura announced he's running for president. It's the Green Party, and people are just kind of, he's looking into it, but he's looking into it. And people were largely like, interesting. Okay, hey, Jesse Ventura might shake things up a bit. Justin Amash announces that it's pitchforks and how dare you? You're going to hurt Trump. You're going to help. I don't know. I honestly think he's probably going to hurt or help nobody except himself, you know? But
okay.
That's fair.
Fair enough. It's going to help him big time because now Justin Amash.
Oh, okay.
Because he was an obscure person that really only Tea Party insiders knew, that helped him rise to fame because he rose to fame with some big Tea Party endorsements.
Third big, I don't want to say
it'll be his third party
you know
affiliation.
What I mean? No, but this would be his third time in the last year doing. I mean, I don't want to call him all stunts if he believes in him, but he switched parties. That got headlines. He was the only former Republican, but you know, he was heavily for the impeachment of Trump. That got headlines. Now he's running as a libertarian. That got headlines. Like, how many times can you keep doing this stuff to get these headlines where people just kind of keep like, it's that Amash guy. He's always up to something.
Yes, but it you don't know how celebrity, I'm not going to say you don't know how celebrity culture works, but I'm saying that's exactly how it works. We forget the negative. Okay. Nobody's worried about the rape charges, okay, against Mike Tyson anymore. That's old news. Nobody thinks negative headlines with Kobe Bryant.
I was about to bring up Kobe as an example of how that is not true at all. People remembered.
No, dude. Nobody, look, our celebrity-fueled, short-sighted media-driven culture has the single worst lack of delayed gratification and short-term focus I've ever seen in my adult lifetime, is the way it is now. So Justin Amash is going to run. He's going to say a bunch of anti-Trump stuff. The progressive and the leftist media outlets are going to eat it up because they're going to say, see, here's somebody from Donald Trump's camp that's criticizing him, all right? And the Democrats are going to love it because they know he's not a real threat. So he's going to get a bunch of free press, free-earned press, which is the currency of the day.
But what's happening right now instead?
But Twitter's not real life.
I know, but he's still getting pushback from a lot of like just Democrat like journalists are pushing back and saying like, well, why is he? I do. And
they're
agree.
Still talking about him.
I do agree. It may be because they know it's not. I do agree. Any notion that I think I said this before, but if Joe Biden's campaign can't withstand Justin Amash running as a libertarian, the guy's a joke and has no business running. You know what I mean? Like this bozo running as a libertarian should not be a roadblock for anyone running for the major parties. Could you imagine that? It's like when Hillary Clinton blamed Jill Stein. Sorry, Hillary Clinton. You were running for the Democratic Party. What influence do the Greens have anywhere, on any level? What can the Greens do? What missile strikes on what country the Green Party calling? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous to blame these smaller parties that really have no influence. Why? Because I always say this. If one of these parties ever get traction, Democrats or Republicans, it's like when Reagan gave the speech about the aliens coming and the Russians and the Americans working together.
Okay.
That would be the Democrats and the Republicans. They'd be the Americans and the Russians, and the Libertarians are the aliens coming in to ruin things. Like, they would drop all their petty differences and get in the same side real quick, I think, which is why I do want to see Jesse Ventura and Justin Amash and what they do in this, because I think we might start seeing that finally manifest and reveal itself if people sitting at home all day. But here's the thing. Not having the money to globetrot around the country, be in New York to do the live interviews, being able to get to a studio wherever you are to do a drop-in, and then getting to a rally, not having that funds anymore, doesn't matter. You can't do it anyway. No one's doing it. You got a webcam and an email address, well, you can Zoom chat with name somebody and you can get your name out there. So we could see these third parties run what would be closer to a legit campaign. I mean, just normally, you can look at think about the proverbial, early 20th century, the guy throwing the buttons off the back of a train, and yeah, obviously some random guy can't afford to do stuff like that, but no one has to anymore.
Yeah.
It really is Twitter accounts or running campaigns, which is why I think when everyone's going to be campaigning on Twitter, getting ratioed in your campaign announcement, bad news.
Yeah. And I got to say, though, in the vein of what you were just speaking about, now is the time to run if you are a third party. Mm-hmm. Because never before has money been as not useless, but as ineffective, and never before has the playing field for candidates been so much flatter than normal. It's by no means flat. If you have more money, you have a better chance. But dollar for dollar, you've got more of a chance now at getting attention because of all the parameters of the current situation.
Biden and Trump, in a lot of ways, especially with coronavirus going on, very interesting flawed candidates, both of them. I mean, both of these guys could lose it a lot. You know what I mean? We're talking about people that are big Joe Biden supporters, man, they're trying to bulldoze any obstacle out of his way.
Yeah.
And Trump supporters don't love seeing this stuff either. And it's just fascinating. It really could. If Trump keeps doing these daily things and he sours people because their response is just perceived to be good or bad, separate argument. But if that does happen, that could lead to people looking to another option.
Yep.
No offense, Biden people out there. Joe Biden does not inspire confidence. He just doesn't. He's old. He's too old. He looks at his VP his VP choice will be more important than anyone's ever, probably, because he's said himself, I'm not going to. Anyway, it really is, I feel like, more open than ever. I feel like it was more open now than in 2016. I feel like Hillary and Trump in 2016, with what was going on then, there was less draw to third party. I feel like this election, man, there's going to be people who don't want to vote for Donald Trump, who don't like Donald Trump, but look at Joe Biden and go like, what? Really? I got to vote for Joe Biden now? Him? Well, he's got X, Y, Z, all this stuff against him.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think there's going to be a lot of Democrats that are looking at this and thinking, wow, first you give me... I mean, most millennial Democrats that grew up believing, okay, I'm liberal, and the party that espouses liberal values is the Democrat Party, have been super disappointed over the past 3 election cycles. Because what opportunities have they been given?
But even Trump Republicans,
John Kerry...
But think of that thing, too. Like, people who voted for Trump because they're like, you know what? I don't like the establishment. I wanted to go in and break up the establishment. And let's say doing the coronavirus handling, there is people who do say, I don't like how he handled this. But then they go to look for the Democratic nominee, and it's like, Swamp 5.0, but like remastered. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to vote for Joe Biden. So I think in Amash maybe could draw some of those Trump supporters who were never going to vote for Joe Biden, but don't necessarily want to vote for, who aren't like sold on Trump either. Here's the thing. I think ultimately they've done studies. I feel like it's
they've done studies, Cody.
No, but they've looking at the ratio of votes. Like, for example, how many votes went to Jill Stein? How many did Hillary not get? You bet you stars someone did that. Someone was sitting in a room maniacally counting how Jill Stein ruined the election. But time and time again, it appears that realistically, it's not the fact that these candidates exist and are running that draws that support away from you. It's generally people just not liking you and not supporting you. That's the problem.
Okay.
You could argue in some people in the absence of choice, but again, why are we getting to the point now where it's like, in order to protect Joe Biden and Donald Trump, we can't let third parties run? It's like, well, how bad are they? Yeah. Like, how shaky is the grant Joe Biden's on if a libertarian candidate's threatening him? And the inverse, it's like, and the only reason why I bring it up is people are saying that, why don't you just elect Trump? But it's like, is anyone saying when Jesse Ventura ran, why don't you just elect Joe Biden? I mean, is he going to draw voters away?
Because we're more petty now. And also the last time, I think social media has been put on steroids in the past 5 to 6 years.
Oh, well, how about 4 weeks with the quarantine?
Yeah, or 4 weeks with the quarantine. I really think the first time Jesse Ventura ran.
No, I was talking about his announcement. His announcement 2 days ago, I meant.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying more people would have been saying stuff like that about these third-party candidates back in 1999 to 2003 when Jesse Ventura ran the first time. And this is the first time he said, well, I'm considering running for president. I mean, we've seen a news article for like that once every couple of news cycles.
He had to squash the rumors in 2016 saying he wouldn't run then.
Exactly. So just because there hasn't been as much media sensationalism about it doesn't mean that it was less sensational. It's just that the media is more sensationalist now. So I'm not as concerned about that. I want to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below. If you think Justin Amash running is a pro or a con. I view it as a pro because there needs to be more third parties. We need to have more choices here. This dichotomy of boomer idiots running Washington into the ground and just milking us for money like we're money cows, okay, has got to end. And I don't really have faith in either one of these parties. There's one I view as worse, but I can't say I have faith in either, okay? So something has to change. And every time there's a great person or a movement that starts, they start out with naysayers. So I don't want to be one of Justin Amash's naysayers.
Great move. Oh my God, guys, we are on the precipice of history there. Apparently we're going to see an amazing Justin Amash-led movement.
Yeah, look, it could be, and I don't rule it out. Let us know what you guys think below. Join the channel if possible. You can contribute to us on PayPal if you like. And make sure if you want to, you follow us on Twitter at PSP Radio 1. This is Problem Solver Politics. We will see you in the next video.